Hi, my name is Woody Goulart, and this is me speaking in my voice. You know, the university degree I earned from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo was in journalism, but looking back on that long ago time, I need to admit to you that I was never as interested in writing, which focused on proper attribution or truth, as I was in writing that could make people laugh. In 1971, when I served as news director at college radio station KCPR within the journalism department, there were no reasonable adults around to contain me. I grew up within American culture before there was Saturday Night Live. My first exposure to surreal satire presented as news was at the age of 14 when I watched an obscure NBC television show called That Was the Week That Was, abbreviated as TW3. I also was completely mesmerized by a radio broadcaster named Don Imus, who in 1971 was on the air in New York City on radio station WNBC. Imus became known infamously as a so-called shock jock, but he started out spewing surreal satire, not salty language. And that's what I wanted to do, surreal satire on the radio. I got away with aiding and abetting fellow Cal Poly students, and what resulted was we put unhinged comedy out into the world that probably should never have been allowed on the air on KCPR. The chief co-conspirator I hung out with and encouraged while I was at KCPR was Frank Calabrese. He was born in 1946 and died in 2009. Frank Calabrese holds the top position as the single most naturally funny person I ever knew. And I put him on the KCPR news service. I was news director, and this was our daily news programming. And this is what it sounded like.
Hey, this will be a take. Maybe we ought to start it with that da 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 da. Good evening. This is F. Faster Fletcher and the lighter side of the news. Brought to you on KCPR, San Luis Obispo. Last night, 3 men were severely injured in this city as they were caught in the 7 p.m. ceremony of rolling up the sidewalks. He started the machinery as usual and noticed a strange sound coming from the roll. Mr. Applefester had his pocket full of marbles, and as the marbles were crushed in the roller, they made a noise. I can't do that on the news, for Christ's sake!
So here's what we had. I was the news director. I was on my way to getting a degree in journalism, attribution, truth, justice, the American way, all of that. And instead, we were doing what today would be considered fake news. We just kept it up, and I pushed the envelope even further as news director. I wanted to editorialize during the KCPR news service. And of course, that wasn't possible because, we were a non-commercial college radio station. And we were told, no, you can't editorialize. Well, I wrote some editorials that went along with the fake news. They were fake editorials.
Following is an editorial opinion from John J. McHines, Vice President and General.
It has come to our attention that a noble and trusted American tradition is falling to the depths of ubiquity and even unclarity. I am speaking of the practice of drinking cheap imported beer. It is clearly time for this well-hidden malfeasance to be legalized. Everyone knows that it is not addictive, as the anti-legalization groups claim. Nothing could be farther from the truth. It is now time for us to clear the air of the falsehoods, half-truths, and white lies being spread by those who know nothing about this subject. They should put up or shut up. We are putting our money where our mouths are. We are calling upon our proponents to chastise themselves, revealing their true ignorance. There is no salvation in disregard. We will persevere. The truth of the matter will be brought forth. Come home, America, come home. Get back where you once belonged. It is the time for support of our cause to be the order of the hour. Don't misunderstand our efforts. In your minds, you will see we are correct. It is evident, forthright, perfectly clear, and void where prohibited by law.
This has been an editorial opinion by John J. McHines, Vice President and General Mangler. Qualified representatives of opposing views are invited to shove it.
Well, we did actually allow opposing viewpoints, so to speak. I wrote something and had one of our KCPR staff members do the voicing of it, and it went like this.
Following is a rebuttal to a KCPR editorial option. Speaking on behalf of the opposing view, of which he wishes to remain synonymous, is Charlton B. Permitson.
I wish to direct my remarks to John J. McHines, who stated in a recent thrashing that it was not so much the subject matter that counts, but what the topic is being discussed. I feel that such a statement is practically watertight. I have never felt too comfortable in the thought that somewhere there's a someone who feels he has the right to his own opinion. Let me put, for my distinguished background, my father was a fisherman, and my mother is a fisherman's friend, and I was born in the Mordom and Chowder. But when I reached my prime, I left my home in the Maritime and headed down the roadway to New England.
This has been a rebuttal to a KCPR editorial commitment. Speaking on behalf of the opposing end has been Charlton B. Permitson.
We created fake news on KCPR, fake editorials, and fake rebuttals on KCPR. And what was left for us to do?
From the ocean to the campus of Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo.
KCPR. I think so. It already was. I think I read it. There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all, till there was you.